Deacon Ray, in the years since I've been ordained, I've had a number of joys in being a deacon. One of my greatest joys is baptisms. I love to bring new souls into the Catholic Church, and I've probably done hundreds of baptisms. What are some of the things that bring you great joy in your ministry?
Well, certainly, since I've been involved with formation for most of my ministry in the church, the great joy there has been to see men and their spouses who come to us. The men come to be formed to be deacons, and they enter many times in various different stages of understanding of themselves, of the church, of ministry, of sacrament, and that coming into the process of formation and watching the development of persons and the depth growing and the breadth widening to such a point that you can see that their being comes out, right? That presence begins to be shown in them. And they're able to do that because the church wisely understands that there are 4 dimensions to formation, right? The human, the pastoral, the spiritual, and the intellectual. And those 4 dimensions, we spend a great deal of time on the human and the spiritual dimensions because that grounds us in who we are as persons, where we are as people, and ultimately where we're called to go and where we're called to be. And so that whole growth of a person from one stage to another stage in his life, whatever that means for that person, their relationship with God, and their ability to be able to witness to Jesus, witness to others about Jesus as disciples, I think is a great joy. The other joy that I get is memories that I have of being a young boy in a very large church, much bigger than this church. It was an older church, but it was a beautiful, magnificent church like this one. And at times when, in the middle of the summertime, when there was no air conditioning anybody else, I could go into the church and sit. And in sitting in there, that kind of presence had me in a position to be able to just think about and look at what was going on around me. And that's what, I guess, drew me into this deeper relationship. But at the same time, as a young boy, particularly if I was in with my brothers or other people, we would begin to do silly, sinful, stupid things in the church, right? Walking around, making noise, and those kinds of things. But that was a great joy, but it also drew me closer to God. It made God real for me and made me understand that there's nothing I can do that God's not going to love me for. So that was a great experience.
To me, one of the greatest witnesses that anybody can provide, especially during difficult times, is to be joyful. And I know, for example, I've seen the Sisters of Life, they're usually young women, but the joy that they have on their face is so contagious. You say to yourself, I want what they have. And we hope that the same thing can happen with deacons, that their joyful witness of their ministry will be a form of evangelization for others to say, I want what they have.